Good morning, folks. Happy St Diablo's Day, motherfuckers. That's right. We're doing the thing that we do. We got it. It's happening. It's gonna be fucking lit. You know that. You know that. Oh, or it sucks. Either way. Or it just sucks. Be responsible today on St. Patty's Day, though, guys, okay? Be responsible. Pan? Pan? Good idea. How is everyone doing? Little dropkick Murphys in the morning? The best part about Dropkick Murphys is the hardcore chanting. It's always been like a favorite of mine for hardcore. How is everyone doing? It's great to see you. We got the Breakfast Club in as we do. Dunder Mifflin, Pan Shard, Chris the Sith. Hello there, buddy. How are you? Kratosino. How you doing? Villain? What's up, baby? Daz? I see you there, Daz. How you doing? Morph! Oh my god, it's Morphlex. Morph! What up, baby? How you doing? Gaming with Minister? Gross. No, man. It's gonna be good today. Come on now. It's gonna be good. 4 hours of troubleshooting. Gray screen incoming. Uh-oh. I love that it's still technically monochrome. Yeah, it is, right? 11 in the morning here. Time to get some drinks going. Yeah. Pan? How you doing? Pan Satiros. Oh my god. We got double pans in here today. We're two-handed pans. Freeze. What's up, baby? How you doing, Freeze? Fuck yeah, the Dropkick Murphys. Oh. Shouldn't have said that out loud, though. That never happened, actually. If you're watching the VOD, it didn't happen. That actually didn't happen. There was no acknowledgement of that happening. There was none of that. None of that was happening. All right, folks. It's St. Patty's Day, and it's also the launch of the beta of Diablo 4. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk a little Diablo. It's been a long time for me, personally. Okay? I have an absolute love/annoyed relationship with this game. With the franchise, I should say. Diablo 2? Diablo 2 is the game that you took to the prom. You'll always remember that night.
Oh,
but then Diablo 3 came around. Woof.
guys, do we use the hammer
Woof.
on the crow?
Woof.
Is that what this is for?
Woof. Mrs. Freeze resubbing for 5 months. Mrs. Freeze, welcome back. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Good morning to you. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day to you as well. Let's do another little ditty. We'll have a little ditty going on while we're diddling around as we do. Thank you, Mrs. Freeze. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, it's very sweet of you to say. Okay, so listen, Diablo 1 was pretty cool. I do always forget about Diablo 1. Diablo 2 was where this franchise, for me, really... Actually, Diablo 1 was pretty amazing, right? Early kind of... like that. There was a vibe to that. Diablo... And PC gaming, for me, was always like... about games that had like inventory management. It was always the cells of stuff, and then like you're outfitting your character. Like so many games that I loved, RPGs and stuff like that, had that motif, and Diablo was no different. And that's where it was. That's where like PC gaming was like. Console gaming was not like that. You couldn't really do that just physically by moving stuff around like you can with the mouse and keyboard. And it was those games that I really gravitated towards. Carney, how you doing? Woofer Woofle, welcome in. Good to see you. Hot dish. Hot dish. I've been playing the shit out of Diablo 1. The others, not so much. Diablo 2 is where it really came together for me. Diablo 3 really kind of sucked in the beginning. And then maybe it got better, but at that point, I was already done with it. So, am I going to get doxxed here? I think I'm okay. It's downloaded. It's ready to go. Okay, some of you are going to inherently be like, nah, fuck Blizzard. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. But two things can be true. Blizzard can suck, and maybe this dev team is making a game that we all really want to play, and it's going to kick ass. I don't know. Or it's like an MTX game from hell, in which case it would be appropriate that it is a Diablo game, and it's also a hell on your wallet. But you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way. It launches in less than that, Pan. Like, it's 2 hours, basically. Noon. Little less than 2 hours from now, the game launches. Spoiler, it didn't get better. Storm! Listen, Storm, don't fucking jinx it. Borrow put the diaper on. Borrow is going to be eyeballing this game. He's going to be pretending like he doesn't give a fuck, and he's going to be eyeballing it so hard, and he's just going to be itching. He's going to be itching. He's going to be itching. You can say you don't give a fuck. It's fine. I don't really care either. The only reason why I got this early access was because we stream, and I wanted to stream it, and we can see for ourselves. Our beta is a work in progress and doesn't include the fully voiced languages we'll have in the full version. I also don't believe for a second that this is not going to be like a fucking beta where like things are going to change. Like, I feel like gamers are terrible about that recently, where it's like a beta comes out and then it's like, oh, it's just a beta, things are going to get better. Like, if the beta sucks, the game's going to suck. We'll see. Thank you, Barher. I do like to gaslight you though, and make it and pretend like you give a fuck. Dude, Dark Tide was like, you assholes should never, I should never have bought Dark Tide. I should have just kept it on Game Pass and we would have been good. I hope everyone's well, by the way. If I missed anyone coming in, happy Friday. It's Friday. There's a lot to celebrate today. A lot's going on. I'm going to have 10 streams open in parallel. Everyone's going to be streaming it. Yeah, it's going to be, you know, we'll see how it goes. I actually haven't really been following the progress of this game almost at all. Okay? So we're going to watch some videos. We're going to like dip into it. We're going to like talk about Diablo. You know, maybe we'll play something else or whatever, like coming up to it. But like, I kind of just want to be in a Diablo mood right now. I have like a couple of YouTube vids that we can just watch, and we'll just start getting into like the classes and shit like that. Because as of right now, I don't know what I'm going to play. I don't know if all the classes are in the beta. Hopefully, supposedly they are. But we'll check it out. I think it's like, let me see. It's like, there's the rogue, right? There's the sorcerer, there's the barbarian, there's the necro, and the druid. Is that how many are in the game? 5, 6? Rogue, sorcerer, barbarian, necro. 5? Is it 5? You think 3 out of 5 are in? What three are in it? You think you can play the sorcerer, rogue, and barb? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Burning Beard, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you guys. The Nobricon. It's the Nobricon. That wasn't really, that was more of a Scottish than an Irish accent there. Let's crack into some YouTube vids, kind of outlining what the classes are and stuff like that. You feeling okay? You're looking a bit green today. Grinds, my friend. You're always green, Grinds, at least on my screen. How you doing, pal? Good to see you. No, I'm doing good. I don't know what you're talking about. We're feeling good. I'm not green. You guys are seeing things. Does anyone have like? So if you're if someone's colorblind, can we just talk like science for 1 second? Because if someone was colorblind to green, would the green tones on my face and skin basically be invisible, and then you're just seeing like the shadow parts? Like what would I look like? Is anyone partially colorblind or colorblind a little? Or you would just see me as mono a grayscale, right? I would just look grayscale, wouldn't I? It's not like it's invisible. I'd look like, yeah, like white, right? All right, read the compliment. Okay. God damn, you guys are in on these compliments. Chris the Sith, how you doing, by the way? Chris the Sith with a compliment over to Dunder. And we can get these done. We can get these out of the way. We can get these out of the way. And then where was the other one? It was Credo. Credo, where was that? Fuck. I lost it. Oh, there it is. All right, let's do some of these. Let's do some of these. Credo Sino say, Knob, you are the best. I say this every day because it's true. You are amazing at games, like seriously stunning at games. I've never seen anyone so fucking amazing at games. And that is true. But I am here for you and and not so much for the amazing gameplay. I don't know if bingo is your thing. No, bingo is not my thing. That is do not listen to Lil Tanker and Carney Head. They are fucking trolls. Or that is a troll compliment. It is definitely a troll compliment. Because I hope you're getting a lot of work to pay the bills and taking more showers. Love you. Yes, I am finally able to take showers because I am working a little more. Thank you, Credo. I definitely wasn't taking showers because, yeah, I don't know. Was the water off because I wasn't making money? Yes, work has been good, and that it now allows me to take showers. Thank you for that, Credo. I appreciate that. Cue the music. It's for Dunder by way of Chris. Chris is sharing it today. Sweet, sweet Dundee. Listen. Work's been a little tough for you. Okay, I get that. You know, in the beginning, when you first got into the channel, only a few months ago, you had more free time on your hands. You were participating daily. And now you're just hanging in there. There's mouths to feed. People are looking up to you, literally. But you're knocking it out of the goddamn park. I know it's tough. We don't expect anything of you. You're here, you're work lurking, you're doing the thing. You're managing that shit over there. Proud of you. You got this. Fuck them. I mean, you know, you need them for work, but like, you know, whatever. If they give you shit, fuck them. You'll be fine. You always are. Anyway, that was weird. Okay. The fuck was that? All right. Okay, let's just move on with the program. Okay. Credo, this compliment is unhinged. Yeah, that took a little while to get through. Rogusta, what's going on? How you doing? Please, Knob, don't gaslight me and Tanker. We all know you're the bingo knight. You're the bingo knight of bingo nights. What? The bingo knight? All right, let's get into some content. Other people's content. This is crazy. This is crazy gaming with an overview, hot off the press from yesterday. 72,000 views.
Diablo 4's open beta is almost upon us, so it's time we talk about all the 5 classes and which is the best one for you.
I don't know.
They all offer unique playstyles, different strengths and weaknesses, which we're going to break down in this video, so let's dive right in. Let's get started with the Rogue, since this was the class I ended up enjoying the most in the previous betas. Now, the Rogue is a versatile and very mobile warrior who can specialize both in melee and ranged combat likewise. The class's best attribute consists in its weapon imbue mechanic,
Right, so we saw the rogue with some melee, and then all of a sudden they have a bow. So this is like a potential melee slash
which
like
lets it buff its attacks with
archer
shadow, poison,
situation.
or cold, combined with the powerful combo attacks that can augment its arsenal.
Okay, so there's also 6 skills. See, I don't know shit about this game. I have not been following the the development of this game. So there's 6 skills. Is that the same as Diablo 3? I don't even remember.
Speaking of
Probably the
weapons,
same.
Rogue will have access to an extra 11 slot via the additional ranged weapon, which lets you equip both bows and crossbows. Bow or crossbow can be a solid option early on to avoid enemies reaching
So rogues have always been good with like movement, right? Dodging, things
you,
like that.
plus the synergy between Heartseeker and Barrage provides a great ranged AoE potential. Plus, you can couple this later on with the Shadow Imbue mechanic for extra damage and even more AoE.
The werebear looks pretty neat. Oh yeah, yeah. What is the druid not here? The druid's at the end. Yeah, yeah.
AoE.
The druid
However,
does look
Flurry
really
and
cool.
Shadow Imbuement as a melee option also work very good. I tested this around level 25, and it might be even stronger once you reach higher levels. Just like all classes, the rogue has access to talent specializations, which in this case includes access to combo points.
I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know if this is the current UI. I'm not in love with this UI already. Yikes, we're already picking apart the game. We haven't even started playing it yet.
Inner sight and preparation that you get via class-specific quests at level 7, 20, and 30 respectively. Going over a quick breakdown of each spec, combo points is the first specialization that you unlock, which makes all of your basic skills to now generate combo points. These can further be consumed by core.
Right, so combo points. I mean, I feel like this game, like what it seems like is, they've been trying to like head towards a little somewhere between Diablo and Path of Exile. Go in blind. This is all outdated.
Core skills for additional effects. For example, Flurry, one of my favorite melee attacks, gets a massive damage and attack speed buff for 4.5 seconds at 3 combo points, but pretty much all other core skills provide similar damage, buffs, and debuff mechanics the more combo
Carney,
points
we don't
you
need
generate.
logic here.
Now, in my previous class breakdowns, I also talked about the inner sight, the second special.
We don't need logic here. Logic rarely plays a part of what we do over here. Carney, come on. What are you talking about?
Specialization for the rogue, which I found personally to be one of the strongest in the entire game at the time. Specifically,
I also like this guy. This guy's coming from a point of view of like what's the best or what's like meta or something. Like I don't care about that. I just want to get a sense of what these classes can do as like as a whole.
This places a mark on a random enemy, and attacking these marked enemies fills the inner sight gauge. Once the gauge is filled, you get 4 seconds of basically unlimited energy to spam your strongest attacks. And since most boss fights are a solo encounter, I noticed that they would constantly get marked, which let me fill the inner sight for an almost 100% infinite energy buff uptime. And this, coupled with a shadow imbuement, resulted in an extremely powerful synergy that melted literally every.
See, stuff like that like is the hallmark of this class, right? Like how it's zipping around and like doing things. Speed was never that much of a thing in Diablo as compared to like Path of Exile, where like Path of Exile, everyone's looking for like a lot of, you have like a couple movement speed things, so you can, when you're doing your mapping, you can like quickly go around and like do things more efficiently, quote unquote, for like end game grinding. I don't really know what the end game is for this game, if there is even an end game.
Thing at that beta stage. Meanwhile, we also have the main attributes, and rogues will want to focus on dexterity, which provides an increase in skill damage and chance to dodge, strength, which improves resource generation and armor, and finally intelligence for extra critical strike chance buff and buff to all resistances. Moving on to number 2, we have the sorcerer, which
right, so that's the again, this is probably very old footage, so who knows what's going on.
Which was the second one that I maxed out in the demo, and this is described as a high-risk, high-reward class, even compared to the rogue. Sorcerer draws its power.
That's another unique thing. Like, I don't really know how this game plays out, but like there is like there's like an open worldish element to this game, right? Like you have like a mount, which is completely new. Can you run into other players in it? Because there isn't there. I thought there was world PvP. Is that true? There's PvP somehow, but like I don't. Are you running into players like out in the world where you're like you're mounted up, and then like all of a sudden you're doing that? Because like that's kind of interesting. Hold on a sec, chat. The wife's hitting me up. I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out. I mean, I'm happy for a revelation as we go through. It's gonna be Diablo. Yes, it is. Lennox, how you doing? I bought the middle one. Tactical, how you doing? I bought the middle one. Hold on a sec. The wife set me up.
From elemental magic, casting powerful fire, cold, and lightning spells at the cost of being more fragile. Luckily, spells like the fire and ice armor, deep freeze, and extensive access to crowd control mechanics later on eventually do make up for it. Being a caster type, Sorcerer has access to only one primary and one secondary weapon slot, which lets it equip daggers, wands, staves, or focuses. Blizzard also managed to make each elemental type feel distinctive enough.
Mages are always of the sorcerer class is always of interest to me too. I don't usually trend in the rogue direction. If we don't buy the game, we can still try. Yes. So this weekend is just for people who pre-ordered. And to be honest, Tactical, I wouldn't pre-order this game. Like, I was not going to pre-order this game. I wasn't going to do it. But because we stream, I just said, fuck it. I'm going to get it. Also, I think, like, getting a pre-order of, pre-ordering the one I did, I think, gets us into the actual game when it launches a couple days early, supposedly. I don't really know. Read the fine print. Don't pre-order this game. Let us figure out what's going on. Although we're not going to be able to really get a good assessment of what's going on in the game until you get to endgame. And then you figure out, that's when the flaws of the game will come out, right? Like the beta, everyone's going to be down on the beta. Like, on the open beta weekend, which is next weekend, everyone can play. So you guys can see it for yourself. But because it's only it's only like a certain amount of the game, it's going to be really hard to tell. And usually with games, right, nowadays, usually the beginning of the game is very polished because that's what they spend the most time on, because we all play the game and then it's too late to refund it.
Guys,
and then later on in the game, you realize it's actually dog shit.
Is that what this is for?
You never know. Blizzard's got, there's a track history. There's a history of this. Carney gifting the sub over to Terran Tactical. Terran Tactical, enjoy the ad-free viewage and the gifted sub courtesy of a very generous Carnival head. You're one of Carney's now. Thank you, Carney. I appreciate that.
Unique playstyles that you might want to test out. For example, fire spells are better at
setting don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Damage over time debuff,
oh, that looks
you
fucking
can later
cool.
Combine with conjuration spells or even the enchantment system to cause meteors, hydras, or other strong spells automatically summoned.
I love the
on
diversity
these enemies.
of the
Meanwhile,
sorcerer,
Frost
right?
has a more direct and higher initial damage, which also includes slowing enemies' movement and even providing deep freeze mechanics later down the skill tree. There's also Lightning, which excels at AoE, jumping from one enemy to another, especially via skills like the Chain Lightning.
I will say this, though. This is Diablo. All of this stuff that I'm seeing in terms of like these classes, it doesn't look mind-blowing. It doesn't look that different than what we've seen. And if you play PoE, a lot of this stuff looks, you know what I mean? It's in the Diablo world. I just hope the loot system is deep and it's not superficial. Yeah, it's sad when you get far into the game and find the last parts to be unfinished or rushed. And that happens a lot, Daz. Not just with Blizzard games, like all over the place. Bro, if that light skill is the only fast moving skill sorcerers will be the only viable farming class once again. Yeah.
Category that I found to be extremely strong option early on. Now the sorcerer's unique class mechanic is the enchantment system. This basically lets you sacrifice almost any active skill, place it inside a special enchant slot, which now prevents that from being casted actively, but instead gives you a passive secondary effect that can be very strong.
Oh, that's cool. So you have like your, I guess, is it just your normal like spell cast that then just gets buffed up?
For example, you can cast Blizzard manually if you want to, which is going to leave this AoE that deals quite nice damage, or choose to place it in the enchantment slot instead, which will make it automatically trigger every 15 seconds or so and follow you for up to 4 seconds without having to do anything.
Anything that has skill diversity, that was one of the issues I had with Diablo 3. It was just like every class is basically playing the same thing. There wasn't much diversity.
Or Meteor that you normally use to cast down a meteorite on enemies' heads, which in the enchantment slot instead automatically triggers periodically against enemies under the burning effect. But of course, every single core skill and many more will have similar effects that you can check in the skill tree. As far as primary stats go, sorcerers will want to focus on intelligence first, which provides...
I will say though, the game does look pretty good. Just having an updated looking game will go a long way. I expect it to look very, very good and better than what we're seeing now. And also, this is incredibly compressed footage from YouTube, and then you guys are seeing it on Twitch, so it probably looks like dog shit. Mr. Jaho, what's going on, pal? How you doing? Happy Friday, everyone, if you're just joining.
Extra skill damage as well as buff to all resistances, willpower for increased mana generation, overpowered damage, and
I feel like you're not wrong, Mr. J. Like Diablo is always fun and mindless, and a lot of those kind of games are. PoE, I think the problem, in my opinion, Path of Exile is deep, and it's intentionally deep, and you always need to have another monitor open on information and stuff like that, in my opinion, unless you have thousands of hours in the game. But the thing about Path of Exile is it's not good to get new players in because it's incredibly deep. I want some amount of depth in this game, but maybe not that deep. But have something in between where people can pick it up. It can generate like interest. Lots of people, the game won't, I mean, Diablo won't die unless they do some crazy ass MTX shit. And if they start doing like all the stuff that they did with their mobile game in this game, then fuck this game. But, you know, until that happens, we don't know yet. Diablo is the training wheels of Path of Exile, 100%. And it looks like this dev team knows that and wanted to kind of increase Diablo's, I would say, like, Diablo 3 just felt thin to me. Like, Diablo 2 had more choices with how to build your character than Diablo 3 did.
Healing, and finally some extra dexterity.
What else is deep, villain?
Extra critical strike chance and chance to dodge incoming attacks. At number 3, we have the Barbarian, the third and final class available in the first beta weekend, and this has been described. So if your only choices are the rogue, the barbarian, or the sorcerer, I mean, I might just have to go sorcerer straight out of the gate. A lot of times I go barbarian, but the barbarian and the rogue always, well, they all, to be honest, all three of those classes feel like they always feel. We'll see. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know what to pick out of those three. I was probably leaning more towards Druid and Necro, but if they're not in the beta, we'll see. PoE is incredible for being free. I hope Diablo ups its game. Well, that's the thing too. PoE is free. You can enjoy thousands of hours of that game and not pay a dime, intimidating warrior,
which is insane.
Strength who expertly wields an entire arsenal of weapons in combat. Now, barbarians have access to 2 types of general builds. Either the warlord, which focuses more on defenses, party-wide buffs, crowd control mechanics, and access to
I
the
really
bleed
hope there's a
mechanic,
swamp in
or
Diablo
Berserker
4,
if you want to
so
go for more
you can tell people
immediate
to get
maximized
out of
damage,
it.
reckless
Bridge, how
offense,
you doing,
and
buddy?
access to self-buffs. This class also
Shrek
has a
knob
decent
looking
early on
kinda clean,
AoE
not
via
gonna
core
lie. Thank
skills
you,
like
buddy.
Upheaval or Whirlwind, which will consume fury that you generate naturally in combat or via basic attacks, but you also have access to shouts that provide certain buffs, including generating a lot more fury. Now, the Barbarian's unique class mechanic is its arsenal system and weapon expertise. This is the only class to have access to 4 weapon slots in total, which lets you use both two-handed weapons like maces or swords, as well as dual wielding. Luckily, you don't have to worry about...
Now, the benefit of the Barbarian would be like those, you know, having all those, well, I don't think all of those weapons, well, are they active? If you have weapons on your back that you aren't holding in your hands, are you still getting buffs from that? That's an interesting thing, because you're going to be getting a lot of, like, if you have 2 weapons in your hands, you're getting buffed, you know, from all those stats. I wonder if those are active slots on your back. The post-campaign grind is too much for you in Path of Exile. Most people who really play those games a lot with thousands of hours, they're in it for that end game. They're in it for like perfecting their character and getting as powerful as they can. And then it's like incremental, you know, it's almost like horizontal progress at that point.
Switching between any of these, as your character auto switches to the correct weapon when using certain skills that required them. Another thing to note is Barbarian also has access to expertise, which grants bonus effects based on how much you have leveled up each weapon type. So the more you play with these weapons, the more they level up, and eventually they will provide additional...
Just hearing that there's all these little things and variations in the classes makes me very happy. It's kind of cool.
Technique slots for extra effects and buffs. However, these technique slots are not available from my knowledge during these beta weekends due to the low level, so there's not much we know about them at this point. Finally, as a barbarian, you will want to focus on the following attributes, starting with strength, which provides skill damage and extra armor, willpower for increased resource generation, overpowered damage, and healing received, but you can also add dexterity if you want extra critical strike and chance to dodge incoming attacks. Now, once the open beta hits on the 24th this month, we'll get access to 2 more classes.
So there you go. So it sounds like the closed beta, as we just said, is really just the 3 classes that I'm probably the least interested in. And then open beta for everyone next week will have all of them. And I might not even... I think what I might do is not even play the class at all that I want to play. Do you know what I mean? I might try out all the other... See, I might not like that then. What always happens is I always pick a character that I end up, like, not liking. Almost every time. And then I have regrets. There's too many choices.
Necromancer and the Druid. Necromancer is the summoner class of Diablo 4, being able to conjure vengeful hordes of the undead, command them in battle via the power of essence, and sacrifice them when needed for powerful buffs. There are several types of spells Necromancer can focus on, including blood magic, which can provide healing and even immunity for a short duration, such as the one provided by Blood Mist ability for 3.5
I feel like
seconds.
I'm leaning towards Necro as my main
should
character.
you choose a more direct source of damage, this one favors critical strikes against enemies, as well as dividing
But it's
the
very
battlefield
AoE
with
centric.
skills such as Bone Prison to restrict them for a certain duration. And Shadow via spells like Decompose, Reap,
I also
Light,
want to
or
do
Sever,
PvP
which
though,
can
so this
attack
might... I don't know if
multiple
this is going to be a good
times in
PvP
duration,
class.
leave off damage pools behind, or buff your character defenses. Necromancer's class mechanic is the Book of the Dead, giving it access to 3 customizable summons. This includes Skeletal Warriors, Skeletal Mages, and finally the Golem. Each one of them comes up with up to 3 specializations and unique upgrades that let them fit different roles in combat. For example, Skeletal Warriors can be specced as Skirmishers, Standard Warriors that have increased damage but lower health, Defenders...
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, all these adjustments that they have in these character classes, Diablo doesn't do what Path of Exile does. Path of Exile, basically, you can go in any direction with any character for the most part, and you can have, like, sure, you'll end up with a very specialized character, but, like, you can have, like, a very unique character build. Diablo doesn't really do that. And we knew that. Like, it's not Path of Exile. you're playing a character class, it kind of stays in its lane.
More tanky-like companions, or Reapers, more aimed for AoE damage.
Necro and
with
the
a lot of
clerics.
wind-up attacks that deal high amounts of damage.
There's no paladin or whatever it's not paladin. What's the class that I forget what the, is it a paladin? What's the Diablo class that's like this the sword and board?
However, these units can also be sacrificed in exchange for
That's
personal
probably a
buffs that
DLC.
increase your own powers. As far as weapons go, necromancers get to access the scythe, a unique
They had
weapon
paladins,
specific
yeah?
just to this class, but also to an assortment of swords. Focuses or shields. And finally, the fifth class is the druid.
Yo,
the
hey,
shapeshifter of
Crusader.
Diablo 4 that can
The
transform
Crusader.
at will
I
between
forgot the
vicious
name of it.
forms,
Hey, Snoogie,
such
how you
as
doing, buddy?
bear or werewolf, commands nature's wrath.
See this, all right, so this is the druid, which also to me is a little more interesting, right?
By unleashing the powers of earth, wind, or storm. Some of its basic
have, like,
attacks, like claw or
they turn
maul,
into a
let
bear
you
or a
immediately
werewolf.
Shapeshift into a werewolf or werebear, respectively, providing additional single target damage or more AoE with the possibility of buffing up your own defenses. Druid is a very versatile class. However,
So for me, like, this is like your melee slash caster character, which I think a lot of people are going to go druid. I don't know. It's tough to say. There's people just a lot. I don't know.
So melee
They're
isn't
very
the only
specific.
option. We can of course also choose
Paladin in
abilities similar
D2,
to spells,
Crusader in
like the
D3.
Wind Shear
There
or
it is.
Earth Spike from early on, or go with a hybrid between the two via Storm Strike, which is also a very strong early on option. The latter provides
Me
a
too,
buff
Daz.
to your weapon, which imbues
Me too.
it with electricity that can jump to nearby enemies and provide additional damage reduction to your own character. Now, the druid specialization is called spirit animals, and this gives you a variety of boons depending on the spirit animal you
So
have.
this character literally has everything. You have some melee, you have casting, and then you also have summons.
Bonded with and unlocked. You aren't actually locked with any of them, of course, as you can swap freely between them at will. Even get a second boon once you've unlocked all 4
That's
spirit
cool. You
animals
just
for a total
pull
of
out a
5
boulder.
buffs that you can have at the same time. However, unless something changes, it's highly unlikely that we'll get to unlock these in the beta, since it's restricted to the starting zone and only level 25. In terms of equipment, the class has access to a main and an offhand slot, which lets it equip one-handed, two-handed, as well as stave weapons. In terms of attributes,
It's got a little bit of AoE too.
But being a rather versatile class, it will likely focus on strength,
Yep.
intelligence,
Similar to the
and
druid
likely
in D2,
willpower,
yep.
with maybe some dexterity left as well.
Yeah, there's
for that
no new
additional
class
critical
in this
chance.
game.
And this is pretty much it with all the class breakdowns. Let me know down below.
It's interesting. Yeah, there's no new class in this game. There's no surprise. It's what we've known as classes in Diablo. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think what everyone wants to see though is, like, you know, how does it feel when you're in there? What's the itemization feel like? What's that loot feel like? And then how shitty is Blizzard going to get with it? Like, that's what we all want to know, right? How shitty are they going to get with it? Co-op? PvP? Yes, please. They do offer a pre-download. I don't know what they're gonna do for the open beta, but for the closed beta, they did offer a pre-download. It's like 40 something gigs without the HD texture packs or whatever, the 4K texture packs or whatever it is, and then it's like 80 or something like that with. Necro's gonna be fun. Raise the army, loot what they kill. Yeah, 100%. I always, like, just knowing that there's PvP in the game, like, I always end up, like, just thinking about PvP and, like, what class is going to kick ass in that. You've done it. You've become the bog giggler. Yo, what's going on, Tanker? How you doing, buddy? Happy Friday. What the hell is this, man? Where's the Irish music? Where's the Irish? Anyway, I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna be a good time. And then what's nice is, you know, open beta next week, so you guys can like all get in on that. I think I'm really only playing really playing it today on stream. And then maybe some Sunday night stuff off stream. It's going to be an on and off situation over the next this weekend and week. It'll probably settle down more towards the end of the week. And then next weekend, I don't know. I might be around for next weekend. I don't know. I gotta see. We'll get into more Diablo, and then get into those other classes, which will be interesting. All right, so hold on a sec. Let me see. Anyone have any St. Patty's plans? Are any of you guys doing any bar crawling or anything? I know that's so like cliche. I'm gonna have to drive through the city today, so that's gonna be nutty. Carney, my Twitch bay. Oh god. Let's see if there's any let's see down. Loot goblin mode engaged. I mean, isn't that what these games are about? The endorphins of getting loot, getting more powerful. If there's even a hint of buying power in this game, I hope Blizzard can control themselves. Keep the MTX strictly to cosmetics, please. I don't care about cosmetics. Don't let people buy power. That's the fucking difference. That's the difference. There was one other video. Let's listen to some theory crafting on Diablo's potential end game. I'm kind of interested in that. You know? I'm kind of interested in that. End game fully explained. One of these days I should get an ad blocker, huh?
Online and RPG games that feel fresh and fun on the first playthrough, and maybe even for a short while in the so-called endgame, but ultimately, because of certain key flaws in its design, falls short in its replayability,
like
and
Diablo
longevity.
3.
And on the other hand, we also have certain classics that players often find themselves wanting to return to every once in a while, even after binging it for
So this is
weeks
about
or
endgame.
say even months. So is Diablo 4 going to be such a game?
Theory
Will it
crafting.
be able to perhaps endure the test of time as Diablo 2 has? As Blizzard's newest flagship game, they have said that they're gonna be supporting it for many years down the line. But I think that whether or not it'll truly be played and remembered as one of the greats will largely depend on the foundational, especially endgame.
See, this I think this is
system
more
on which the
recent
game
looking
is built.
stuff.
So stay a while and listen as we take a magnifying glass to everything
Stay
we know
a
so
while
far about
and
Diablo
listen.
4's endgame systems and activities, and even how they have perhaps been inspired by other games and whether those systems have been successful in those games. Now, before we dive into and scrutinize the various endgame systems, it is crucial to first acknowledge the broader context of these systems in terms of how long each season will last, as these endgame gameplay.
So that's the thing,
really
seasonal
only can last
content.
as long as and be engaging
Buying
for
game
the duration
passes.
of one so-called season, of which Blizzard has
Now that
stated
was it. That's
there
an
should
inch.
be about 4 a year.
Where the fuck?
And
That,
assuming that they
hello?
have roughly
Pause. That was an interesting image you saw of those tiles. which is supposedly something to do with the end game of the, I don't know what the fuck this means, but maybe this is like their version of the map, right? Or mapping in Path of Exile.
Season, of which Blizzard has stated that there should be about 4 a year, and assuming that they have roughly equal lengths, that should be about 3 months per season. Having seasons lasting a few months where players can...
Many years ago, I did the all-day main Irish pubs around me. I don't need to do it again. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people grow out of that. Although some people, that's what they live for. You know, I mean, who's to? I'm not gonna, you know, wet someone's blanket.
Start new characters, tackle seasonal achievements and challenges, as well as leaderboards, is not new to the Diablo franchise, dating back to Diablo 2's latter seasons, in which Diablo...
Wait, Tanker, odd question. If you had someone taking you on a cruise, would you rather go on an Alaskan cruise or a Caribbean? And you're replying to Panshard, and she's talking about a pub crawl? Well, listen, allow Pan's pub crawling expertise guide you on your cruise. You would do 100% Alaskan? Guys, what would you do? Caribbean or Alaskan? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I guess it depends on where you've been before. Now, why are you guys choosing Alaskan? What do you... First of all, the wife has been trying to get me to go on a cruise forever. And I'm not really a cruise person. To me, a cruise is like two of the worst things. Being on the water. I love being on the water, but I get seasick. So there's that. And then like, it's literally like being just in the hotel. Like when I go travel, I don't just chill in the hotel. I like to go out and around. I'm never in the hotel. Actually, Lennox is weighing in. You know who you should be listening to right now? Lennox the Legend. Oh, Lil Tanker. Or anyone else who's been on a lot of cruises. Lennox the Legend has been on a variety of cruises. That's IRL knowledge right there. No, Knob, don't go. Don't. Remember Titanic. Save yourself. Let the wife outside the door. Remember that, Knob. Thank you, Kratos. I appreciate that. Hit a ton of the Caribbean. Yeah, he's been to a bunch of Caribbean cruises. Never been on a big boat. Plus, I want to be romantic. I want to be romantic for my guest. I almost feel like you should talk to... Is a cruise something you spring on someone early on in a relationship? You should be careful with that, Tanker. Some people might not like that. Because, like, what are you're going to be stuck in a small cabin with someone? Like, if they're not down for it? I would be careful with that one. Springing that on as a surprise. It's like, hey, you know, we're just getting to know each other, but let's go on a cruise. Tight cabin. Out to water. No one can hear you scream. Most bigger boats don't shake too much. Yo, we've all seen footage. I've seen footage of those fucking ships on a storm, man. Those things pitch and roll. Just like anything else, if it's crazy enough out there. Noggle and I went on a cruise like a year into our relationship, but we planned it together, no surprises. Right. I'm not shitting on the cruise early. I'm just saying that should be like both people are like, yeah, we're going on a cruise. Not like, hey, babe, we didn't talk about this, but we're going on a cruise. Like, I feel like some people like, you know. Oh, you've known her for a long time? All right. Well, I was just saying, I thought this was a new squeeze, Tanker. What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. All right. I thought this was a new squeeze. I was just saying. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck like in a small space, like if you're new in the relationship or something like that. Well, now we're talking about cruises, so hang tight. We'll pause the Diablo bit for a little. Hotel is for sleeping, and I can do that perfectly at home. Exploring is all that matters. Right, villain. And that's why I've never been able to want to commit to a cruise. Because I don't need... sometimes you want to chill by the pool, but like that's not... I'd rather like chill at the beach. Like that's me personally. Neela Tequila, what's going on? Love the green. Thank you. I appreciate that, Neela. Lil Tanker gifting a sub over to Neela Tequila.
Guys, do we use the hammer on the crow?
Thank you, Tanker, for that gifted
Is that
sub.
what
I
this is
appreciate that. To one of your streamer bays. Neela, enjoy. Enjoy. Just remember, Neela, before he was your boo, he was mine. Go easy on him. We miss him. Go easy on him. I'm just saying I want some level of control in my vacations, and a cruise seems to take that away. Rogastat. Also correct. Also correct. Like, especially during COVID times. Even during non-COVID times. That shit gets shut down with a disease, and it's just going around, and like, you guys, you're in a petri dish. You're in a fucking petri dish. That shit is growing. That shit is growing. You're hoping for the scuba diving stuff? They won't let you on board in cases like that? You mean of being sick? I'm talking about just like, you know, you're already on the ship. It's too late. You're out in the water for like 10 days or something like that. All of a sudden, there's like a fucking crazy ass, like, you know, something's going through the ship. Everyone's throwing up, you know, like, you know. A neurovirus, right. So all of a sudden, someone's on bath salts and they're trying to eat someone, and like, then it just starts spreading. This is how it starts. And then all of a sudden the military's called in, and like you're being surrounded by Apache helicopters, and they're about to fucking take out the ship. Bath salts, nom nom nom. They will keep you on board. Yes, exactly. And they're gonna keep you on that ship. You'll be 2 miles off the coast, no swimming, back to land, and you're gonna be stuck on there. The trick is to book a cruise 1 week after a boat is called out. Wait. The trick is to book a cruise 1 week after a boat is called out on the news for having a virus or something. That boat will be clean as hell by the time you get on it. That is interesting, Lennox. That is interesting. That is the risk that I'm not willing to take. Cruise ships will either turn your immune system into the Hulk or you'll leave with diarrhea. There it is. Everyone's favorite guest at the party. Diarrhea. Fact, my mom did it. LOL. Oh yeah, I trust that shit. I love this song, Flogging Molly for the win. Yeah. Spike, how you doing? What's up, Lobster? I think Carnival recently put out a notice that if you're visibly drunk, they will confine you to a cabin and kick you off at the next port. That's insane. But that's probably like, I mean, you got to be pretty ripped for that to happen, right? You got to be pretty ripped for that to happen. I mean, you know what? So while we're talking about this,
has also iterated.
While we're talking about this, hold on a sec. I mean, why don't we also let's talk about cruises. Yo, Vape Juice, what's going on? Yo, Vape, also Vape. I know we had some issues with getting you in here, and I just, I want to apologize. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for hanging out, and it's good to have you. I think there might have been some misunderstanding early on, but we're all good now. All right, let me see. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I'll do this off stream. Let's take a look at YouTube cruises. Let's do cruise disasters. Cruise disasters. Because everyone likes to fucking. I want to see, or how about not disasters, because those are like actual like sinkings and shit. How about cruise? Let's just say rough water. I want to show you guys the pitching of these fucking ships, man. This is my worst nightmare. Not really.
The thing that's different about
There's probably worse nightmares than this, but like this is up there for me. Seasickness, trapped on a fucking boat with a bunch of randos. You're in for some shit. Now, is this actual footage? Rough Seas compilation, guys. All right, hold on. Guys, we're going to be... Diablo servers go live at noon, just so you're wondering what's going on. It's also St. Patty's Day. That's why I'm green. What is this? A tourist video? Where's the fucking seas? What is this? This is not Rough Seas. This is bullshit. This is a fucking tourist video. You fuck. Fuck you. That was an absolute... I just got you baited. That was a tourist video. Look at all this. Rough Seas comp. What is this shit?
Going on a cruise is a great way to spend a family vacation.
Oh, fuck you. Just give me the shit. Oh! That's a small ass ship, though. God damn! What is this? Yeah, you're fucked. That's a tiny ship, though. I want to see the interior, like, of, like, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, it's coming up, it's coming up. That's a tiny ship. That is a tiny ship. But this could be you. Holy shit, some of these swells. What? Oh my God. Also, where the fuck is Flogging Your Noggin been? Is he okay? Again, this is a tiny ship. This is like a cutter.
Leading to several injuries. However,
hey, Dak, how you doing, buddy?
Was not significantly damaged, and the captain managed to
look at this crazy ass wave
without further incident.
Look at this fucking wall. Don't cut away. And secured on those ships, though. The ship sink. Okay, so anyway, I think that illustrates one of the main reasons why I don't get on cruises. Deadly furniture. There was a there was a Costa ship off the coast of Italy that tipped over years ago. Yeah, I remember that when that happened. No cruises for me. I mean, is that likely to happen? No. Like, is that likely to happen while you're out there? No. Can it happen? I mean, it's like anything else, though. You have a stronger chance of being in a car accident than you do having that happen. But I'm just saying, like, whatever. Obviously, having the ship disabled and sink is rare. But, like, you know, I don't want to be stuck in a fucking hotel, a floating hotel, with a bunch of people that have diarrhea and that are vomiting, and then that's going on. Yeah, didn't the captain bail on that ship too? The food on cruises might make it worth though. Or yeah, the food is usually like is it actually really good, Vape? What cruise line did you go on, if you don't mind saying? Or it doesn't matter if you mind it, don't bother. How is the food generally on cruises? Diablo 5 cruise ship. Diablo 5 cruise ship. All right, guys, if you're just joining or wondering what the fuck we're doing, we're talking about cruises. We're talking about Diablo 4. Servers go live at noon. Okay. So that's what we're just kind of flapping our jaws. You could get similar food, drinks at a nice resort if you're cool with staying in one place instead of cruising. Right, there's that too. Anyway, Tanker, I'm sure you're gonna have a great time. The original ask was Alaska or the Caribbean. Is it possible if you go on an Alaskan cruise, are you like what's the fucking deal there? Is that like a whale watching fucking like Arctic experience? Because that could be dope. Is that like a Northern Lights situation? Because that could be dope. Is that the situation? Like, I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Alaskan cruise. Is that what that is? Northern Lights? Are you seeing like, are you going past ice? Like, cause that's kind of cool. I don't know if you saw my response to your question above, but I will just send a message in mod chat. Oh, fuck. No, I didn't. I'll DM you about Oh. Oh. No. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, well, I hope everything's okay. That scares me. That concerns me now. Crispy Crob! Oh my god. Tier 3 like a fucking maniac.
Guys, do we use
Crob,
the hammer
look
on
at
the
me.
Pro? Is that what this is for?
It ain't easy being green, baby. Yo, T-Rex, how you doing? Good to see you, Super T. Welcome in, guys. It's St. Patty's Day. It's Diablo Day. It's Diablo 4 Day. Crob coming in with a T3 like a maniac. Yo, thank you for the continued support to the channel, man. I appreciate you. Welcome in, my green friend. That's right. We've been intimate with the green giant. A little rubbed off on us. A little rubbed off on us. That's right. I thought it's Hulk Day. I wish, Super T. I wish. I wish. I'll just rip out of my hoodie. Oh, no need for concern. Okay, good. As long as I just realized that I haven't seen anything from Floggin. So I in a couple days or at all. So like as long as he's okay. I broke a personal rule in pre-order D4 shit. Better be hype. Yo, Vape, I broke that rule too. Let's just enjoy it. I mean, what else is there to say? Steve's all downloaded. Steve's fucking ready to go. I mean, how bad could it be, right? All of us, listen, maybe if we have to swipe our credit cards again just to play every time, okay, that's a problem. We'll see. Hopefully it's not like that. As long as people can't buy power, I'm fine. I'm going to earn it the old-fashioned way. I'm waiting to see how it plays. Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you, actually don't pre-order it. Open beta next week. Just fucking wait. Just wait. 20 bucks every 10 levels. Jesus, just fucking kill me, Vape, if that's the case. Okay, let's go back into Diablo YouTube as we're waiting, as we're kicking it off, guys. Thank you for that like 20-minute segue into cruises and why you should never take a cruise. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for instilling my phobia.
4, the developers have also said that each new
Okay,
season
so
will introduce.
anyway, this video that we're watching, we're like this YouTuber is talking about like what is Diablo 4 Endgame. And for some of you, you might be thinking, what does that even fucking mean? Well, you have like the story, right? You play through the story, and then what? You have what's called in these types of games the